So that is our 3500 Ram, Laramie, Julie. Yeah, I just thought I'd quickly run through the big beastie. There's lots of reviews on these from the US, so you know I'm not going to go into an in-depth review of everything on the car, but this is just for the guys in Australia, because we don't get a lot of these here. This is from us, our professional point of view of what we use it for, because we're a towing business. I'll go into a little bit more about that, but we really put these things to the test over here in Australia. Not the same extent that they do in the US, but for what most guys over here in Australia will use it for, we kind of know what we're talking about now. So yeah, I'll give you a bit of a rundown. Right, just a bit of a rundown for what we do. So we're 32 Degrees Towing. We do haulage towing, not breakdown recoveries or anything like that, but when I say towing, I mean we tow. So we tow boats, trailers, flat tow up and down the highway. We generally do long haul. You know, minimum trips are sort of 1,000 k's one way. We tow boats up from small to large, caravans, anything really that can be flat towed. We probably do 4,000 or 5,000 kilometers a week. In general, we've got, currently our fleet is this 3500. We have a 1500 Hemi as well, and we have a Land Cruiser 200 series as well, which had quite a lot of work done to it. That's just generally set up basically just for towing. They've all got their uses, they've all got their pros and negatives. The 200 series 3.5 ton limit. The Hemi, it's a Hemi, so it's heavy on the fuel, but it's rated 4.5 ton. And then we've got this car, which will essentially, now we've got this will pretty much take over everything. Gives us the ability to do whatever we need to do. Loads of capacity. Once the air brakes are fitted as well, we'll be good for, I think on a gooseneck, we're good to about 13 ton or 12.5 ton. And about 10 ton on the tow bar. It's a class 5 hitch on here, so we can go up to about 10 ton on the tow bar. So that's just a bit of a breakdown of what we do. So I'm not a mechanic. I know about cars, but I'm by no means a mechanic. So my only credentials is purely towing experience. So this is what my lowdown is on this car. This is what we found with all the cars that we do towing with, and this is what my advice is based on what I know, and basically just my opinion on what we've come across, what I've used to tow, what we've towed with certain vehicles, and how it kind of all works out. But I'll give you a rundown of this car first. So this is our latest vehicle we've added to the fleet. So this is a 2021 Ram 3500. It's a Julie. It's the high output version as well, so it's 1,075 foot-pounds. For us that work in metrics, it's about 1,500 newton meters, something around that. We're about, I think it's 420 horsepower as well. It's got the, because it's a high output, it's got the Aisin gearbox as well. 6.7 litre Cummins on that one. I mean, ultimately, the towing wise, that motor is just built to tow. What's the saying? 6 in a row built to tow. So look, 6-cylinder diesel, 6.7, 1,500 newton meters. This thing is just literally built for towing, and it does it so well. I mean, we don't even notice that anything's on the back half the time because of the limits here in Australia. But anyway, we'll get to that in a little bit. But it's a 3500, so it's got the Julies, which is very rare, very hard for us to find. I was very lucky to be able to get a hold of this car. Being that it's the Julie as well, suspension in there is extremely heavy duty. Literally, it feels so much better when you've got something on the back. It is pretty bouncy, factory. We haven't got factory airbags on this one. This has just got the coils. Sorry, the leafs in the back. It doesn't have air ride suspension, but I know that does make big difference. You'll see under here as well, I mean, all that drivetrain is beefy. There's a big drive shaft in there. I mean, The issue we have here in Australia is that they really derate these. You know, what we're using this for, the Americans will laugh at us, because we're really not putting this thing to the test at all. I mean, 4.5 ton is nothing on the back of this thing. So I'll give you a rundown of the specs. So this is a Laramie spec night edition. So this is two down from the limited, so it's kind of the mid-range, I guess you'd call it. But it's got everything that you need, you know, LED lights, fog lights, sensors, turning lights as well. You know, it's got all the cameras as well. Comes with the fold down towing mirrors as well, so you can, when you're in normal mode, you can run them flat like that, which is just general mode. But to be honest with you, I think the dualies always look better when the mirrors are popped up. Night edition, so everything's blacked out, all the badges are blacked out everywhere. You get the black wheels as well. What else you get with the night edition? Yeah, blacked out wheels on the back, blacked out lights as well, and all your badges and everything is all blacked out. Your RAM and everything's blacked out. Laramie, so you get painted bumpers and all that sort of stuff as well. I'll show you the inside. You get you know, leather seats, Laramie leather seats, heated, ventilated, so it blows the air up, cold air on your bum. What else do we get in here? There's a 12-inch screen on this one. That's an option on these, but this one's got the 12-inch screen. It's a mega cab, sorry, as well, so you'll see how much space you got in the back. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of space. You can put these seats all the way back. It's bigger than our Land Cruiser in the back, this thing. 9-speaker Alpine stereo. This is base level Laramie, so there is a higher spec than this. It's a group, I think it's called a Group A package or something like that. You get extra storage, you get camera rear view mirror and all that sort of stuff as well. So we bought this car. This car didn't actually come through Ram Australia. This car come through a company called AusMV, which are part of SCD Performance, and they bring in all the cool Rams, like all the mega cabs, the limiteds and stuff like that of the bigger trims. Ram Australia only bring in white 3500s for some reason. They don't let you choose any other colors. So we bought this through AusMV. Have a look at them online. I'll put a link to their website in the description anyway. But they seem to have all the decent gear that comes through, and they seem to be a little bit less derated as well. But she's a big girl. So our biggest problem here in Australia is tow ratings. 3.5 ton on a 50mm ball, and 4.5 ton on a 70mm ball. Anything bigger than that, you need a pintle. So we've got the Gen Y hitch here. So this has a pintle lock as well. So this is rated for 7 ton, 2.5-inch shank, rated for 7 ton. So we'll be good once we start putting something bigger on it. Biggest issue we have here in Australia that the guys in the US don't have is you've got to have air brakes on anything over 4.5 ton. It's decent money to get done. It's hard to get done. It's hard to get the parts. I don't understand why we have to do it here. It's typical Australia with the red tape though. You know, in America, electric brakes are good enough, and they are good enough. We all know that. So we're looking at getting the air brake kit fitted on this, but that will take us up to the maximum limit. Class 5 hitch on here, 2.5-inch shank. These come with a little adapter, so you can put a 2-inch shank in the back. And then we just need to get the tow ball prep in the back, which we haven't got yet, but we've got no need at the moment. We can't put anything on the back until the air brakes are done. So that's the next thing on the list with this thing anyway. So a lot of people say to me, probably the biggest question I get asked is, do I need to get a 3500? Do I need a 2500? Is a 1500 okay? Now look, we tow commercially, so the bigger the better for us. We've all got licenses to drive these things. You know, you don't necessarily need a 3500 to tow. A 2500's fine. Most people have it because of the limits here with air brakes. The biggest boats seem to get is about 4.5 ton. We're getting more and more American boats now, and more people are buying Rams over here now. So it means that the market is opening up a little bit for what people are getting in. But in general, I don't think you need a big car. It's just purely because we're commercial. Average Joe, just buy yourself a 1500 Ram. If you're only going to be towing your boat to the boat ramp, just buy a 1500. You don't need a 2500. 3500 is just, to us, it gets used long haul, heavy weights. I'd rather have the extra capacity in there. That's just us. But if you're going to have a look at, if you're interested in buying one of these, have a chat to the guys at OzMV. There's a guy there, Andrew, real nice guy, really helped us out with this. Definitely worth chatting to him and see what he can do for you. It's time to move this thing now, but I'm a little bit apprehensive of chucking it in the sand. I haven't actually used this thing off-road yet, and I'm not sure how well the jewelleries will go, but yeah. We'll get this thing moved off. I'll show you some, get some videos of it, and yeah, that's our 3500. So, should you buy one? Well, there's nothing better really out there for towing. I mean, obviously you've got your big Fords and things like that, but yeah, I mean, you can't beat these American trucks for towing. This is coming from us who do it all the time. So if you can afford one, they're worth it. And if you need one legally, they're worth it, obviously. But it's entirely up to you. You know, keep watching some of our videos. I'm going to keep chucking up some content anyways. We tow some bigger and bigger bits of gear, especially once we get the air brakes done. So that'll be where it starts to get really interesting. I hope to keep you guys interested. So it's my weekend off, so no towing for me, which is good. So I'll catch you soon.